Chicago. Yeah.
Hey, what's going on? My name is Dr. Ben. I'm a chiropractor, and this is the Pre-Chiro podcast where we're just here for you, the prospective student, the person who's in high school or college, maybe career transitioning and just trying to find a path of purpose, of meaning, and anything we could do here in this conversation to support you in that. That's the intention behind why we're here. So, Marcus, today I want to just thank you for taking the time. I know that you're busy out in Chicago. And can we just get started by you sharing a little bit about your background and your upbringing, maybe, and what led you to chiropractic or how you discovered chiropractic?
Yes, yes. And thank you for having me on, Ben, today.
Hmm.
Just a little bit about myself. I know as a kid, I knew I wanted to do something that would help and give back to people because I just love talking to people. I was that talkative little child that would never shut up. But I didn't come from a background that had like doctors and lawyers, you know. I came from that hardworking family where you went to work every day, you just grind and you took care of your family, you pay bills.
Hmm.
So my parents didn't go to college, but they wanted me to go to college. And they were very big on, about making grades, but they were never pushing me to be in one profession or another.
Hmm.
So, of course, going to school and making good grades, naturally, I was always attracted to the sciences.
Hmm.
So, chemistry was my favorite subject actually in school, and then
Hmm.
also learning about the body as well too.
Uh-huh. Cool.
But yeah.
Hmm. And so, was it in high school or was it in college that you heard about chiropractic, or was it even after you got out of college? And like, what did you major in college? And sort
Yeah.
of, yeah, talk a little bit about your path.
Okay. So in high school, I did work. I started my first job at 15, so I was actually on the path of becoming a business major, what I wanted to be in college. So when I first started out in college, I was on the business major path, and I was a marketing. I was actually a marketing major,
Hmm.
and so, but at the same time, I was working in a pharmacy.
Hmm.
So I worked at a pharmacy as a pharmacy technician for about 13 years. And they actually convinced me to go into pharmacy school. So
Hmm.
halfway through my marketing major is when I switched over to becoming a science major.
Hmm.
And I was on the track to get into pharmacy school. But getting after I graduated, I just kind of felt like I didn't really connect with pharmacy.
Hmm.
And what was, happening in the pharmacy at that time with the what we now call the opiate crisis, right? It
Hmm.
was it was a lot of that going on where it's just like, push, push, push pain medicine, and it was just like you just feel drugs. You don't really educate patients on their body and how it's working. So I didn't quite understand the connection of, well, why is it that these people are coming back sicker and I'm giving them something that's supposed to help them?
Yeah.
So, in a way, my path to chiropractic is chiropractic actually found me in
Hmm.
a place to where I had just graduated with a biology degree,
Hmm.
and just going to work every day. I took a year off. I was like, well, let me think about what I want to do. Do I
Hmm.
want to go back to school? I don't. What would I go back to school for? And I actually met a doctor well, a chiropractor still at the time, Dr. Jamie Reed, shout out.
Hmm.
He was in school at Parker University,
Hmm.
and just so happened he was looking for something at the store, and he was like, "Oh, I used to be a pharmacy technician too," so we connected on that level. And
Hmm.
he told me about his journey and how he got into chiropractic, and just hearing his journey inspired me to be like, "Oh wow, like I want to be able to be that kind of doctor where I can help somebody, not only get their life back, but inspire them to become something to help others and give back."
Hmm.
And so, 3 o'clock in the morning, you up late, you're thinking about life, like what do I want to do with my life? And there it is, his business card is sitting on my desk. And
Uh-huh.
I'm like, let me look this up. Let me see what this chiropractic thing is about. I
Hmm.
had never heard of chiropractic. I had never been to a chiropractor before. You
Hmm.
know, I never was one to complain about pain. So I don't have a story that, like I had a lot of pain,
Right.
but I did have a lot of issues with sinuses. So
Hmm.
as a kid, I grew up always in a hospital with tonsillitis,
Hmm.
and nobody could figure it out. They wanted to take my tonsils. They but being that my parents were divorced, I moved from one state to another, and they were like, "No, we're not going to take his tonsils. He'll grow out of it." But they never really got to the point of why I was getting sick.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was looking up chiropractic, it talked about how you heal the body heals itself from the inside out. We're just helping the body get that nervous system back to where it can do that in proper functioning, right?
Right.
I'm like, okay, you don't have to do any surgery, you don't have to prescribe any medicines. I was like, I don't want to do surgery, I don't want to prescribe meds. Let me apply. So I applied to Parker and I got in,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how I began. But on my way to Parker, I did go and visit a chiropractor in my neighborhood in Texas when I lived in Texas,
Right.
and he explained to me how it worked and how the adjustment was going to go. I was like, okay, let's try it out,
Mm-hmm.
and I got my first neck adjustment. It was like the lights turned on from that moment.
Yep.
And for me, when I got that first adjustment, immediately I felt a relief in my sinus pressure. And I had no idea how bad my sinus congestion was until I woke up one morning and I didn't have any congestion. And I was like, wow, like this is the first time I actually woke up and I felt like I had a good night's rest. And
Mm.
so from there, I was chiropractic all the way. I knew like this was my call and this is what I wanted to be.
Mm. So what was the timeline after you had that experience to going into chiropractic school?
That was like right away. I want to say I applied like in February and then I was in school by May.
Wow. Wow.
hmm
What were some surprises or challenges that you encountered when you entered school?
Oh my, wow. For it was fast and furious, I would say. It was test after test after test, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
still trying to work full time, trying to pay bills that I had. So it was but it was surprising because it was in undergrad, you just going through the motions, I feel like.
Yeah.
You're just trying to get up after you're just there. Like you coming straight out of high school. You don't really know what to expect about college. You're just
Yeah.
kind of like, I'm here. I don't really know who I am or what I want to be really.
Mm-hmm.
um, but when you get the chiropractic school, I kind of feel like I found a sense of who I was,
Mm.
and who I wanted to be as a provider. So
Mm.
I was surprised by how disciplined and how structured I was because in undergrad, I was not very disciplined. I'm not gonna lie.
Most
But
of us weren't. We were partying and we were trying to
right,
do as little as we could to keep on moving in the way that we needed to.
right. And I wasn't really involved in like extracurricular activities. I just went to school and I just went to work. So I wasn't really involved in the university. So it just kind of felt like I was going through the motions. But when I got to Parker, when I got to school, I really felt a sense of community. I guess because you're with the same people every day.
Mm.
But it allowed me to be more disciplined. It allowed me to find more about myself and how I wanted to give back. Because then I started to participate in things like, the Student Association with chiropractic and, SABCA and SACA and F4CP and just kind of seeing, where I would go with chiropractic.
Mm-hmm. How did you start to evolve your vision for yourself as a student? What kinds of things did you gravitate towards, and how did your mind begin to sort of create a construct of what Dr. Marcus looks like in his community?
Mhm.
How did that take place?
Yeah. So for me, I wanted to try everything. I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to see what was applied kinesiology technique was about, what was ART about. So I would hang out with as many different people as I could, and
Mm-hmm.
just to see what this was about. And for me, when I started to gravitate towards more of just having that connection with people
Mm-hmm.
is what I do well, and then realizing that able to talk to people and have a what you call like a sense of a calmness for them, and
Mm-hmm.
having them have a sense, I guess you could say, empathy.
Mm-hmm.
Where you have like that first technique at Parker is loving service is my first technique, right?
Yeah,
And that always stuck with me because I feel like you have to have some love for the service to really be in this,
definitely. Definitely.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's a beautiful way to differentiate chiropractic. It's like first get that loving service
Mhm.
down in your heart, in your mind, that first and foremost you're there to serve out of a place of love. and then the art or the approach
Hmm.
comes after that. So you said that you went to a bunch of different clubs, different techniques. What was calling you after you had gotten exposure to everything that you felt like you needed to make an informed choice on what you wanted to go deep with? What did you
Hmm.
try to go deep into?
Uh, I definitely went more deeper into like the nutrition part of it as well, and how nutrition affects your body and the nervous system,
Mhm.
as well as with the ART method too, the soft tissue.
Okay. Okay. What could you give in as a context builder for a prospective student on what they could like go into in regards to those things, since that's what you went into? Like what attracted
Yeah.
you to it? What did you really feel like this is why I want to do this?
Okay. For me, it was my own personal journey. I feel like, even though I was a biology major, I really didn't feel like I knew the body until I got to chiropractic school and
Hmm.
how the body was functioning. And for me, like I said, I grew up always having that tonsillitis affect my life as a kid and ended up on antibiotics. And I had a lot of digestive issues. So
Hmm.
that's why I gravitated more towards the nutrition part along with the body healing itself, right?
Hmm.
Because you can use nutrition to heal the body.
Hmm.
So, when you do get out there in the real world, it's a little bit different from school. Because as school is more structured, you got someone there helping you. But when you're out there in the real world, those people they need more. They need not just let me adjust you and then send you home,
Hmm.
right? We
Hmm.
need to you got to educate them. You have to enroll them and want to helping themselves,
Hmm.
right? And so they're having not just pain, but other issues like digestion or, they have a lifestyle to where they eat or intake a lot of things that that's part of that chemical stress on their body. They
Hmm.
need to be educated on that as well too, because even though you're adjusting them and they feel good after the adjustment, when they get home, all that is undone.
Hmm.
And they kind of feel like, well, is this working? Is this not working? Well, let's look at the lifestyle changes because I truly feel like chiropractic is a lifestyle.
Hmm.
And it's not just you receive an adjustment and you feel better.
Hmm. Hmm. Definitely. So if we're going deeper into that, can you
Hmm.
talk about the vertebral subluxation and how it relates to chemical stress?
Oh, most definitely. Of course, with those vertebral subluxations where you having that pressure on the nerve, causing that miscommunication with your brain and body, that chemical stressors do affect your body physiologically, right?
Hmm.
What you put in your body is what you're going to get out. So when you put in a chemical with your body, it affects all the chemistry in your own body. So
Hmm.
we're like one big ball of a chemistry reaction, I would say. So whatever you put in there, it's going to react, and you're going to get a physiological response to that, and that's going to manifest itself into symptoms and signs, right?
Hmm.
And that's where that vertebral subluxation comes in. So we all know we have certain things that affect our joints, that affect our bones. If you have too much of something or too little of something, you're definitely going to affect the way your spine is going to respond to that stress.
Definitely. So we're focused on what's going on inside the body and affecting that which is within to really affect the cause of
Hmm.
what's going on with somebody. Can you talk to the prospective students about the types of people that come into your office and how you
Yeah.
use chiropractic coupled with nutrition or ART, whatever you're using in your practice today? Can you talk to them about what your model is, so to speak?
Okay. I mean, we see families, we see the everyday families that are out there working hard to,
Uh-huh.
to support themselves, support their families, and just live the life that they want to live, right?
Yeah.
So, they got all kind of stresses. You got the chemical, you got the mental, you got the physiological. I mean, these people, we have people that are sedentary to we have people that like to go on hikes every month.
Uh-huh.
So we get a wide range of patients in there.
Yeah.
So when you get a patient that comes in that says, for instance, I'm a physical trainer, right?
Okay.
They tend not to be about pain. They
Yeah.
tend to be more about function because they want to function properly so they can show their clients how to function properly when they're teaching them the physical, the personal training aspect of it, right?
Yeah.
So they're very big on nutrition and keeping their bodies lean and keeping their bodies at peak performance. So we'll focus more on that, but they also have um, soft tissue, right? Soft tissue problems, maybe like some trigger points, some muscle strains. So we're going to work with that as well. So that's where the ART comes in. And
Hmm.
then we could talk to them as well about the nutrition that keeps them at peak performance. And then
Okay.
you have the family or the patients that are more sedentary, and you may be looking at them because they come in for back pain or neck pain, but we have to go beyond just the pain with them
Hmm.
because we know the pain could be gone, as quick as 12 visits, maybe for some people, some
Hmm.
people 24 visits, but we know that that could become a revolving door if we're only treating it for pain.
Right.
So we have to educate them a little bit more around lifestyle changes. So, they may have diabetes, they may have high blood pressure, and we're not saying that we're a cure for that, but we are telling them that your nervous system plays a big role in those metabolic syndrome type diseases.
Hmm. How do you educate them? Is it one-on-one, like verbal,
Mhm.
or do you use other methods, whether it be virtually or whether it be hosting different workshops? How are you reaching your people beyond just their visit?
Yeah, so when I got out of school, I went to work for a big company. So I'm thankful for that because they do a lot of that for us. But
Hmm.
we have virtual, we do workshops, we're on social media. We do a lot of things to educate our patients, at every point of view that they could be reached at. And
Hmm.
so definitely it's when they're in the office, it's definitely one-on-one, right? And then we do workshops. And then we also have you know, the educational brochures that we hand out to them as well.
Hmm.
And then demonstrations too in the office where we're doing our workshops. And then we have things that they can share with their loved ones on social
Mm.
media, through email, and we send out blogs. So we're every aspect we use to educate as much as possible.
Active. That's
Yes.
dope. Yeah, do people still read? I mean, you talk about brochures. I have brochures.
Yeah.
I'm
Well, I would
hesitant.
say like I guess what you call them like the educational. It's not like a brochure,
One
but
pager.
one
Yeah,
page. Yeah, it's like a
yeah.
one page brochure. It's like
Simple.
something. It's a blurb. It's simple. It's a illustration. I would call it an illustration card, if
Cool.
anything, so they can see how to do a posture check or a certain stretch to help them when they're at the desk.
So how can we relate to the prospective students? So everything that you just said is super relevant because it gives insight into the life of a practicing chiropractor. And how can we
Mm-hmm.
really translate that into what they're going through in life right now? Um, Minus like the unique circumstances of 2020, being a
Right.
college student, being a high school student,
Mhm.
they're going through classes. What would you recommend they start to consider or explore? How can we really differentiate chiropractic science
Mhm.
versus medical science and help them start to see, hey, if you want to consider chiropractic, start studying in this direction. Um,
Gotcha. I would definitely say, study study hard on your anatomy and your physiology, know your muscles, know your bones, know your nerves, as well as I would even say your biochemistry.
mm-hmm,
That's important, but you got to know how the nerves function, right?
mm-hmm,
You got to know what's going on when the nerves are communicating with the body.
mm-hmm.
And then I would also say, um, I don't
Oh, where'd you go?
I didn't get a lot.
Oop, oop,
Okay. Oh,
hold up. We got a little stat connection error on your side for a moment there. You said I would also say here, talk to me again just so we can make sure we crystal clear right now. Oh, hmm. Hmm. Connections. All right, well, I guess that we are having some technical difficulties. Mm. Well, that was a very interesting interview with Marcus, who's a practicing chiropractor out in Chicago. Just really giving us some insights into how he was a pharmacy technician for 13 years, met a chiropractor randomly in the store he worked at, researched chiropractic a little bit, and it resonated with him and his values and beliefs. Went to chiropractic school pretty much immediately after discovering this profession, and had a very rich and fulfilling experience on his path and his journey. It sounds like he was very inspired. So I just hope that there's some things that you could take away from this that help you just make a more informed decision. We're here for you. We're going to keep having these interviews. We're going to keep sharing perspectives, not only from practicing chiropractors, but also chiropractic students. Do your research, make an informed decision on your healthcare career path, and we'll see you on the next video. Appreciate you very much. Have a great day. Peace.